So, guys, yeah, welcome to the live call tonight. I'm here with Reese today, who's one of the partners at SellerSmart. Reese is a bit of an loosey goosey in the background, so you're not going to see his face as often, but he's he's another one of our background's developer monkeys, let's say.
Yeah, old
So
Shawnee boy is constantly on my back to go live, so I don't think I can get away with it much longer. Yeah.
it's taken a while, but I've been saying, like, anyone who sees our TikTok lives, you'll know that I've been saying Reese is going to go live with us very soon. So I'm really excited to have him here. Yeah, so Reese, do you want to kick it off by telling us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about your background in Amazon.
Yeah, sounds good. I started selling probably 3.5 years now, maybe 4.5, I'm not sure. Yeah, it just started off. I wanted to make some extra money. Saw it's probably TikTok or Instagram Reels. Had a very popular server pop up, I won't say the name. And thought, you know what, why not just go for it? What's the harm? Chuck a few £1,000s into it and see what we can get out. Then quickly you get the bug for it quite fast. Remember joining servers, you got free Discord, they post free leads. So jumped on them, bought some products. Thought we'd be a millionaire in about 3 months' time. Saw all the profits and the orange bars, thinking that's profit, not turnover. But yeah, jumped in head first, learned all the sourcing methods I could, gained as much content as I can, started on YouTube, and then just networked, spoke to people that were successful and learned from them. 3 months in, decided to hire a VA, so I went halves with somebody else, and it was like a 2-3 week onboarding period until we got the VA. The first day we had a call with them, they probably found like 3 or 4 leads, and they weren't experienced. These leads were awful at the time. We got excited and decided to hire another VA that same day. And we was like, well, why don't we have one each and get double the leads and make double the money? And that's really how it started. Kept purchasing leads, kept networking, joined several Discord servers.
Your camera's wobbling a bit.
I'm probably moving the table. Be careful.
Getting all excited.
Yeah, I'm going like this underneath. But yeah, just networked, slowly heard about different servers, and that's where I am now. Obviously, there's a lot more that's happened since then, but that's the start.
You and I networked in the easy arbitrage days, didn't we? I think we networked because you reached out to me about VAs. I think it was. I told you about him. Yeah, tried selling me a VA. Reese and I hit it off straight away. It was like you can tell when you talk to the right kind of people who have the same energy as you. It's it's a really good idea to pursue that further. And I told Reese about Inventory Pal, I think it was. We all met up with Cal, and that's how we started SellerSmart initially. Just want to say, Alex, welcome to the live call. Thank you for coming. Reese P, I'm guessing that's you. Kobe, hello, brothers. How are you, mate? Thank you for coming to the live. Aiden Hall, hey, guys. Thank you, mate. Reese, what sourcing method did you use at the start? Let's jump straight into a question.
To start was storefront stalking, downloaded newsletters, spent several hours on up to every newsletter I could ever imagine. Probably 2 days later, never opened that again because there was too much coming through. But yeah, as I say, storefront stalking, then I've done some RA, never really had much luck. But when you've got that bug and you get started, it's fun until you then realize that you're driving around for a long time. And quite naively hired a VA before I've mastered the skills of sourcing. So I learned quite a few bits from them. Going back, I wouldn't do that because there was a brand new VA, no experience, and we was both clueless together. Whereas now, obviously, in our recruitment, we can hire experienced VAs, so people are prepared. But yeah, I'd say storefront stalking, newsletter sourcing, and manual.
Yeah, that's the go-to methods. I always tell people in the lives to start with: storefront sourcing with SellerAmp SaaS, Keeper for Amazon to Amazon, and newsletter sourcing. Which, in your instance, you said you signed up to too many and then didn't check it again. But I definitely, to anyone out there who's considering that, I think it's a good idea. You just have to be very selective with the emails that you look at. Only look at the ones that have a percentage discount or a pound or dollar discount if you sell in the US. So, Reese, Your professional background, I think, is really relevant to why you're so good at engineering. So tell the audience about your professional background.
Okay, so I went to university, studied accounting and finance for a year, and then decided to drop out because I got offered an apprenticeship as an engineer at Ford. Done a 4-year apprenticeship, and then halfway through that decided to do an open uni degree alongside it for engineering. Then once I finished, got a promotion a year later because I had to wait as a it started off as an electrical engineer, and then it was like projects planning. Then it quite quickly moved over to project management. And then I started doing introducing software to the company. So I'm not sure if many people have heard Jira, but the company paid an insane subscription for this software, but no idea how to use it. So I disappeared in the background, which I do all the time, brought forward a proposal on how we should adopt it. The team loved it. We had a team of about 30, 40 people, and then introduced it to Europe and the US. This is actually one of the reasons I decided to leave that company. Is I got a top achiever, which was 0.25% pay rise. And when they gave that to me, I was like, oh yeah, not many people get it. It's 40 to 50 people can get this, or 1 in 40 to 50. And I told them, I was like, 0.25%, that's like a coffee a month. What is that? And they was going, no, it's more of the accolade. It helps you with career progression. And I went home and I was like, look, the amount of extra hours I put in, I want out. And then Amazon popped up on my phone. And I was like, I'm going for it. But yeah, that's a true story. That's the exact reason why I actually started Amazon, was because of that quarter.
So I really want to tell people, I've said loads of times on social media, I'm an absolute workaholic, self-confessed. I love what we do. I spend way too many hours sat at my desk. I've got clicking hips now because of how much I sit working. You've got a pretty intense story of your work schedule whilst you were still at Ford, whilst you were getting a degree, whilst you were running Amazon, whilst you were managing VAs.
Yeah, I can say it now because I've left the company. But so I started Amazon with a full-time job, which was demanding overtime as well. I was still doing my degree, so I think I was in my 6th year doing my engineering degree. I moved house, got married. So it was 2 years ago. I was doing my dissertation for my degree, full-time job, Amazon. We started SellerSmart, and I was getting married, all at the same time. Stressful period.
You were sleeping like 5 hours a night, weren't you?
Ridiculous, yeah. And managed to get first, which but I must admit, give a little pat on the back to AI for helping me there as well.
I think it's kind of like the podcast episode I had with Harvey. When you meet people who are really, really serious about building something amazing, I don't think the average Joe really can comprehend the level of work that actually goes into building a business. And like even what we do at SellerSmart, how much we're actually working in the background, we just never switch off from it. And that's the kind of dedication that I would like to hope is going to propel us forward. And anyone watching this who does Amazon, if you really dedicate yourself to it 100%, you're going to get so much further ahead than someone who's a part-timer with it, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's like shiny object syndrome as well, isn't it? You want to, when you dedicate your time to something, make sure you do the boring bits as well, because I'm bad for this. So are you, Sean. I think Cal is as well.
Yeah.
You're busy, but you do the things you enjoy, when 9 times out of 10, the boring parts are the foundations, what you need to build first.
Hormozy actually was saying the other day, if you can work until you get to the point that's boring and then keep going, that's how you become successful. And he was very specific. He was like, not when it gets hard, when it gets boring, because it's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Which,
there are
all of our brains.
Yeah, we want to do the fun parts.
Yeah.
But yes, we've done quite well so far.
Alex has said, so Reese is one of the devs working on the SellerSmart software. So no, Cal is actually the dev on the software. One of the reasons we work so well as a trio, we all have different perspectives. We all have our own experiences with Amazon. So we ideate together. We always come up with concepts for what we're trying to accomplish. We come up with the problems that we're all facing, think of the ideas on how to solve them, and then Cal will go off and code. Reese is the guy. So like the free purchasing sheet we have, Reese designed that. Lots of like the back end automations of our business are done with Reese and his beautiful mind. And
I'll jump in, because there's quite a few. We've got the back end automations. So when you sign up to a free resource or purchase something, there'll be an email flow, or there'll be a process flow which we've built ourselves just because it better suits our business. Done the VA Sourcing Sheet Pro. Not many people know about that unless you've hired a VA from us. You can buy that standalone. I think that's one of the biggest dark horses of our business, that we should promote that a lot more, but it's obviously only useful if you have a VA. The website, I had to learn how to build websites quite quickly and built ours. And I think we added up, there's about 80 different pages on our website now, because you go to a free resource, and then once you subscribe, there's a sign up page, confirmation page. It just never ends. Discord as well. And just all the back end processes, the boring bits behind the scenes.
So Kobe said, by the time I come back from work, all my energy is drained. How do you do that, Reese? I'll let you say your perspective on that, and then I'll give mine.
Well, the missus is probably listening, but an expensive missus, no. Just want better lifestyles, don't you? So you always want more. I moved out, got a mortgage, wanted kids, getting married. So all these things were piling up. And really, we know that most of us here in the top 1% around the world are extremely fortunate where we are, but you just want more. And that's where I was. I was always chasing career. So I wanted to become, management within that company. And then I quickly shifted that and was like, you know what, I don't want to work for somebody. I want to be at home. And be home when you have children, which so far have accomplished. Had a beautiful little daughter in December, and I quit my job last June. So even whilst I'm at home, I am working constantly, but I'm able to be there with the family.
Yeah, and Kobe, what I would say to that is I'm about 10 years sober, right? So my life went very badly at one point, and I had mad brain fog all the time, was really undisciplined, really unmotivated until I got my shit together. And what worked really well for me was, I don't want to sound preachy, I just want to tell you what worked for me, but going to bed at the same time every day, waking up at the same time every day, having a good circadian rhythm, making sure you're not vitamin D deficient, which we all are in the UK, exercising, getting cardio and doing steps in per day, spreading out your meals so you're having smaller meals throughout the day worked for me. Really big, heavy meals makes me lethargic and really tired. Don't doom scroll on social media. And if you really struggle, cold showers in the morning before you exercise can be really good. And you've just got to have that drive. You've got to want to build your life into something more than it is. If you really have that drive, you will find the energy if you want to. And a lot of it is habit. If you're not in the habit, you're going to find it really, really hard. But once you get into that habit, it just becomes second nature.
Yeah, so I'm in the habit. All of those things you listed, don't think I'm doing any of those at the moment since having a baby.
Well, you're a new dad though, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, but it's habit now. We live and breathe it. Wake up in the morning, first thing you do is crack on and work.
Yeah, literally, as soon as I wake up every day, the first thing I do is jump on Discord, answer messages, either go live or go to the gym and answer messages in the gym. It's just such a huge part of our lives now. And Kobe, so I know what job you do. I won't say it on here just because I don't know if you're comfortable with it, but if you really love what you do, there's no like pressure on you to do more. But for me, I was made redundant. I had never been in that position before, and I was coming from a job where I felt very lucky to even be in the position I was in. So that really lit the fire under my ass. That really got me going. Reese has had that drive, but again, Reese will tell you, as soon as you have kids, you know that pressure to provide is real, isn't it?
Yeah. So funny story. So when I left the company, they was doing voluntary redundancies, and the idea of these redundancies was to get the older generation out and get new people in. When I applied, they basically laughed at me. I was like, "Yep, you're not going to get accepted," but technically they can't say no. It went up to, I think it was last December. I thought I was leaving 2 weeks before, they declined it. Then it went up to last June. They went to decline it again, had a word with management, chat with the union, good old union. And then, yeah, I got out with a nice little pay packet as well, which has seen me through. And then 3 or 4 days later after leaving, found out we're having a baby. So yeah, the pressure was on.
Yeah, so we I talk about this in TikTok all the time, but I've never really said in detail what it was like. But when we first started SellerSmart, we were in build mode for so long, building the services in the background, getting the foundations of the business right. We realized we've taken on about 4 different businesses in one with what we've done. And we were working in that community for free for almost a year. When I say free, I mean very little money. And that's whilst I've given up my income from Amazon and I don't have a full-time job. I do some side hustles for cash. Reese has taken voluntary redundancy. Cal said no to a £60,000 career. So, you know, we were all in with this. We were balls to the wall. This has to work. This is the only option. Let's go. That's how serious we are about what we're building and how confident we are that what we're building is good. And I say it in the TikTok lives all the time. I hope the results, the reviews, speak volumes for how much effort we put into them, because so far we've got very, very kind reviews from everyone we've worked with.
Yeah, that's what we've done. We said, look, we want to be the genuine people. We don't want to be the people on social media to have the orange graphs on the screen and say, oh, hey, I've made £100,000 this month, when it's your turnover, because it's all lies. It's be completely transparent, be genuine, help people for free, give people free resources, which I think for the first 9 months of the business, maybe more, we barely even had any service where we could take people's money apart from Prep Center, because we were just building so much free resource to build that community. And yeah, it pays off. We make people believe in the stuff that we hand out for free and the advice, and they know for sure the services that follow that will be high quality.
Yeah, and like, I hope you don't mind me saying it, Reese, but I think it was really funny, and it speaks it speaks to the type of person you are.
Yeah.
But you said to me at once, when we've been working for free for a long time, giving loads of free value, and we were obviously getting to the point where we're like, right, okay, we need to make an actual business that makes money. And you said, I don't even want to make money. I just really like the job. And I was like, no, what was the words you said? You were like, I've gone to a point where,
yeah, it's like I work, but I don't even think I'm going to get money at the end of it. It's just
that was it.
Just like it's a hobby now.
Yeah, we've just got so habitual with working for free, we forgot. Oh yeah, businesses are supposed to make money.
yeah, we've done that. Yeah, because we've only recently started taking money out because we've desperately had to. We've reinvested so much into the business, like the prep center, the software that we're developing. That is, God knows how much that has cost. Well, I know because I went through the P&L and I think you're going to have a heart attack. But
yeah, well, I was going to say 100, yeah, a lot of money.
yeah, it's crazy. But long-term vision, it will pay off. We're putting the hard work in. We've got a great group as well. People believe in us. We're all here to help each other. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, hopefully when they need services, they'll come to us.
One of the proudest accomplishments I think we have is that the group that we've cultivated is now over 1,200 members in the free Discord. Just such amazing people, aren't they? They're so friendly, so helpful.
Oh yeah, everyone is. We could disappear for a week. People ask questions, each other help each other. That's the goal. That's what we wanted.
So Kobe said, family is the reason I do the current job. I was let go as well back in 2020, but everything got expensive and now I need to work on something else. Mate, I'm going to sound like an old man shouting at clouds. When I moved to Bristol, it was £250 a month for rent and bills. I'm about to move house because the current house I'm in right now is full of mold. Still renting. I'm probably going to buy in Essex when I actually do decide to buy with the missus and we decide to move out of Bristol. The place I'm moving to now is £2,000 per month, and that's considered cheap. Some of the places we were looking at now is literally double the cost of our current rent. So the world's gone crazy with how expensive it is.
Just read Shao's message. It was really nice. Thanks. Until the last bit, I had to Google Bill Hader. Cheers, mate. Massively appreciate that.
You do look like Bill Hader, actually, now he says that.
Moving on. Never heard that, and hopefully I don't hear it.
Someone in the TikTok live earlier today told me I look like the villain from Mission Impossible, and I Googled it and I was like, oh damn, he's right. Aidan Hall, as a newbie, you definitely come across as the good guys. Your team is loaded with knowledge. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Yeah. We hope so, because I'll be honest with you, right? I do not pay attention to our competitors. We are so focused on what we're building. I don't really have time to pay attention to anyone else. The other day, I went on TikTok to see what people were saying, and I could not believe the amount of crap people were coming out with. You can start Amazon on 200 quid, 300 quid. All you need to do is hit 100% ROI with all your products. It's like, oh yeah, just as easy as that. Let's go. You have no idea how to do it, and you just got to find really banging leads every single time you do. It's crazy the amount of misinformation that's out there. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that the message we're trying to get across is how this business model actually works, rather than just selling the dream.
I've just Googled a villain from Mission Impossible, and it is a spitting image of you. But
it's the glasses, isn't it?
I can't get. Oh, that is. I'll put it into the server. But he looks cool.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I need to get one of those black jackets to go along with it, fulfill the meme.
Yeah. Right. I will. I think it'd be cool if I continue my Amazon journey on how I got involved with VAs and recruitment, because that's a bit of a story. That's how we met each other as well. So jumping back, I had a VA, and when we shared the two, didn't go too well. I ended up replacing them because it was from a company that no longer exists. So it's probably fair to say the name. It's from Fast Track FBA. Their training was 1 week, and it was a brand new VA, and it's very hard for them to fail. So yeah, as expected, it didn't go too well. Then after I've from now, outside of recruitment, I've probably had like 20, 25 VAs in total. Rotation, trying to get new VAs, pay per lead, all different sorts. But I come up with this fantastic idea. Well, before that, I used to share VAs with people. So there'd be like 6 of us with 12 VAs. We'd all pay for 2 each and then share the leads around. That worked really well to start, but then you have to really trust people, because start seeing leakages, noticing that leads were being shared with other people, and the trust was broken. Then I had a fantastic idea, thinking, why don't I find a VA, I train them. This is a few years in. I find a VA, I'll train them up so they've got good sourcing capabilities, and then get 2 other people to pay half their salary. And then, so essentially I'm not paying for the VA, but I continue the training. The plan for that was that I could have loads of VAs. So I think at one time I had like 5 or 6, which, yeah, essentially I wasn't paying for them, but I was doing the management. And that, well, then I started moving to EUA to A. So I was actually working, training these VAs for completely free, no money. People started disappearing and not paying their monthly sub, and long term cost me a lot of money.
You need to clarify that. You need to clarify something.
What?
Alex has said, wait, you worked for Fast Track? This is mind blowing. No.
I hired from Fast Track. Yeah. We do have some members, people who was management from Fast Track working with us now for our SellerSmart. And they're some fantastic people. But no, I didn't work for Fast Track. I gave them enough money, but yeah, not working.
No, I still haven't actually spoken to Tom yet. I probably will at some point if he's ever up for a conversation. But my first VA hire was through CLS, through Charlie, and it ended up not being a good experience because of the VA. The VA was a scammer, but Charlie handled everything perfectly. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just unfortunately part of the world, isn't it? You just got to be so vigilant with who you hire. Yeah.
So it's not like we're selling a product, we're selling a person. So even if they are amazing through every single stage of the interview and application process, you're never guaranteed that they're going to work hard afterwards. And that's the bad part. It's reality really. But that's where we offer 45-day returns. So if anything goes wrong, if you're unhappy for any reason, we're here to find you somebody else in replacement.
Yeah, and Kobe, to answer your question, we've got 2 options. You can hire someone who doesn't have experience that we train. So we developed like a whole big training system for VAs and even client onboarding, that we've got a whole process for that. You can either hire someone who isn't trained, or you can hire someone with 2+ years of experience. The majority of sales we do are with people with experience. In my personal opinion, I would be very reluctant to hire someone who isn't trained in Amazon FBA. If you're a brand new seller, you need to be really good at it yourself first, so that you can teach someone if you go down that route. But yeah, we primarily recruit people who have 2+ years of experience. In the description, there is a link to the landing page, so you can check it out, and I've just put it in the comments as well.
Yeah. So on that, I'll start with the experienced VA. So experienced VA has to have a minimum of 2 years UK experience, but sometimes that doesn't mean too much. It's they could work 6 months or 2 years, or we've hired people with like 6 years experience. It really depends on them, because if they've worked for one employer and they've got them in the bad routines and said, don't source these certain brands which actually are really good, or do it my way, they might not have that skill level that we're hoping for. So it isn't such like hey, have you got 2 years experience? We do a background check and they're employed. We've got a ridiculously long process flow to hire people. There's 5 stages. The first is they basically showcase the skills they have. They tell us what they're confident in and sourcing methods and software. Then we'll categorize and say, yeah, they belong in the experienced VAs, or they should be new. If they pass, then we ask for a video testimonial, their CV, and we'll reach out to all of their previous employers where possible to make sure they're legit. And believe it or not, quite a lot of the time we reach out. It's surprising. Sometimes I'll reach out and it's people from our server. And yeah, then they say, yeah, they were fantastic. I'll let them go for XYZ, or no, we let them go because they wasn't sourcing up to the standard. We give them a lot of quizzes throughout the whole process. We're asking them questions about product analysis and sourcing methods. Then we do an interview, one-to-one interview. It'd be me and one of our members, SellerSmart members. Ask them all different questions, not try to catch them out, but make sure they really understand what they're talking about with confidence. Make sure they've got 2 years experience. And then again, a load more questions about understanding Amazon, make sure they know what they're doing. Kobe, they're from the Philippines, majority. We've actually had a few people from Pakistan apply, and we've placed them, and Nigeria.
Yeah, primarily Filipinos. So I talk about this all the time. When you work with people from different countries and different cultures, especially, we Amazon sellers primarily work with Filipinos or Indians or Pakistanis. Filipinos, very hardworking, very trustworthy, really amazing people. The biggest cultural difference you have to get used to, which I've mentioned in a TikTok live before, is that they refer to you as sir, which a lot of people can be find quite uncomfortable. But it's just the Spanish influence, it's the culture of being respectful to people in your workplace. Alex said,
they're nicest people you'll ever speak to.
Amazing.
When we interviewed the guy from Pakistan, I reviewed his leads and I said, oh, look, there was a mismatch. And he answered me back. And it completely threw me off because, like you said, he's so used to respect and people calling you sir. He was like, well, no, actually, you are wrong. So, okay. And he showed me that he emailed the supplier and got proof that it is the same product, just different packaging, even though it looked different.
Right.
Which is fantastic. And got to understand him a bit better, and it's just his culture. And yeah, he's now placed with one of our clients.
So Shout Alex said, I heard the VAs from Fast Track were amazing, but the company was sold and now it's not as good. That's the reason why I have no VA now. Yeah, I heard mixed opinions, but it's, I think he did a really good job. Tom did a very good job at the time when he was going. Layla has just given us a video testimonial for the community and for a VA service. And I'm not just throwing that in there to self-promote RecruitSmart. Layla actually got a VA from someone else. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to get sued. But essentially, for £4,500, she was sold a VA and a course when she was brand new, had no idea what to do. And the VA she was given had no experience selling in the UK, so gave crap leads. So, yeah.
Not a mentorship. This is just a course. It was it's no mentorship.
Yeah, just the course, no mentorship, and a VA who was untrained, left to the wolves, didn't get any guidance. When we met Layla, she was telling us that we got so pissy. We got so upset that someone treated someone like that who's brand new. We actually ended up helping her out mostly for free, just because we were so frustrated that someone had done that to a brand new seller. So yeah, you got to be really careful with who you trust out there. Cappy Mar says bomber clap.
Is that Maria?
That is Maria, of course. And Kobe, what country are they from? Can we trust them? So yes, mate. I don't want to be called out for saying anything racist. So let me say it this way. I would give a Filipino my bank card within 2 days of working with them. That's how much I trust Filipinos. I would not do that with anyone from any other nation, and I include the UK in that.
Yeah. So with VAs, I had admin VAs doing all my admin work. I had product sources, and then I had purchasers. So I had 2 team members that had all my bank details, and they could pass through anything they wanted. I did set it up so they had to ask for the one-time password, but sometimes they might do like a £2,000 order and didn't even ask. So it depends on what retailer you're purchasing from. But yeah, they had my card details. That's not advice. Make sure you do trust them. Set up processes that you've got backup just in case something does go wrong. But they are genuine people. They're really religious. They wouldn't do you over. But it is unfortunately a country that doesn't have very much money. So they are desperate for money. So you do need to be careful in that instance.
Yeah, like the biggest issue you would have with a VA if you're not using a monitoring software. So we recommend Team Logger because it's $1 per user per month, ridiculously cheap. The worst thing you'll get with a Filipino is that you'll find out that they might be working multiple jobs whilst they work with you. We personally have the opinion, as long as they're focusing on you during your work hours and they're not sharing your leads with anyone else, they can do whatever they want in their own time. Love that hustle culture. But you have to have some sort of monitoring software because some people will be cheeky and they're remote employees. So, there has to be some checks and balances along the way. And I mentioned earlier, through no fault of Charlie's, when I got a VA through him through CLS, because I have Team Logger and because another person who was affected by this had another tracking software, we were able to see that they were sharing our leads with other people. So when you do hire a VA for the first time, whilst you may not be comfortable about it, we do highly recommend using something like Team Logger, where it will take a screenshot of their screen every 2 minutes. And I've always said in my previous job, I was productivity tracking guy. I only ever check it if there's a problem. I never use it to spy. I never use it to breathe over someone's shoulder. I only ever check it if there's an issue. And that's the mentality you should have with it. As a remote employee, there has to be some sort of check and balance.
Yeah. So on when they pass that 3rd stage of the interview, they then do a trial week period, and they will be on Team Logger. So we do monitor, make sure they are sourcing how they say they are. We have our team members not breathing down their neck, like you mentioned. We never do that normally, but we do vet that and make sure they genuinely are sourcing. And then at the end, we'll do an interview process and then place them with a client. That's great, but then it's still hard to determine what they'll be like once they're employed. And we've had a incredible success rate with our VAs. We've had to replace 2, I believe, out of, we're probably saying about 5%. And Fast Track and these other companies, they was averaging around about 60 to 70%, as far as I'm aware, from the horse's mouth, literally. So we're doing something right down that avenue. And when you hire a VA from us, you also get the VA management course. So like Sean's mentioning, Team Logger. If you want to share passwords, if you want to share bank details, how to do disciplinaries, anything you can imagine, you can. We've got the course for that, and that's included with a VA, as well as that sorting sheet, which has a Team Logger API, so you can see exactly what hours are working as well.
Again, when you say it's the sleeping horse, it's that integration in itself makes it worth it, doesn't it? The integration with Team Logger is so good.
Yeah. It took about 2 months to make it, and we sell it for, what is it, 120, 130 pounds, and we've never really promoted it. And every time people hire a VA, they're like, "Oh, this sheet's so valuable. It tracks so much data. All your profits, your sales, will estimated." And it just sits there on our website. We do need to push that more.
Probably, yeah. So Kobe said, "Can I have your card number? I need to pay for the mentorship." You are from the UK, my friend, and as I say, only Filipinos get my bank cards. So they use that. Say again?
Said you can give it, but mine will get declined at the moment, so it's good.
Yeah. Kobe said, so they use their PC. Yeah, mate. They just you've done sourcing before, right? So they'll just source, or they'll do your admin. They'll do it from their own PC at home, probably connected with a VPN or a remote desktop or some sort of virtual machine, however you do it. And it's 40 hours a week. An untrained VA will typically earn 25,000 pesos per month, and an experienced VA will typically earn 30,000 pesos per month. And that's the difference between about £325 a month to £370 a month. And you typically pay them every 2 weeks. So you pay them on the 15th and the end of the month. And for me personally, I pay my main VA, I pay her in pounds because the peso is really, really weak at the moment as a currency. So if I pay her in pounds, she gets way more money. But most people pay in pesos, and they're happy to be paid in either currency, to be fair. A lot of them are fairly used to be paying in dollars as well, but obviously in England we don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah, just a VPN. And yeah, in terms of paying them, if you've got Revolut, if you've got Wise, Monzo, or any bank with multi-currency, it's super easy to send it to them. You don't have to pay. They're not an employer. It's more like consultation, consultancy.
Contractor.
Yeah, you put it under consultancy in the books, which means that you're not tied to all these hidden fees. Like we have staff at the prep center. Now there's national insurance and there's all these other hidden fees. You have to legally now pay for pension and other bits. It's different for them.
Yeah. So I just checked on Google, Filipino peso to GBP, 25,000 pesos is £313 at the moment, and 30,000 is £376 at the moment, and that fluctuates depending on the currency exchange.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound much to us. They say it's well above their national average, so they live comfortable lives because everything's much cheaper. But that's it. It's that if you give them a monthly salary, that it's great. But what you want is to encourage them to work harder. So that's why, we include it in the course, but we tell anyone is you want to give them incentives, set them targets, spend targets, profit targets, make them want to log in the evenings because they want to make more money. That's if they want it. But if you hire a VA and just let them crack on and don't talk too much, they will lose interest. You do need to treat them like an employee.
I'm quite amazed how many people I have to remind of this. Not anyone in our community, but just in general on TikTok lives and everything. But they're people. Treat them like people. They're very respectful, so treat them with respect. Anyone who has been a manager before will tell you the biggest thing staff members respond to the most is development, feeling like they're part of a team. And you have to understand, to remote workers from overseas, they're so excited to work for a UK startup company. And a lot of them see it as a bit of a privilege. And I feel privileged to work with people like that because they're so hardworking, super funny, really, really lovely people.
Yeah, but also they are very, very nice. Don't let that blindside you. End of the day, they do still need to work their hours. They do need to make sure they're performing good. It throw you off track. As soon as you talk to someone from the Philippines, they're so friendly that you just want to look after them. And I've done it before. I've sent some money because they need something, or give them a loan and pay back. But you shouldn't feel responsible for that. But yeah, just remember they are people that have a lot less than us, and they can make a lot of money if you treat them well.
Yeah, I've made the same mistake where you keep someone on longer than you should have because you want to keep supporting them. But I think that's something every entrepreneur goes through. In the early days, you keep people on the salary probably longer than you should, but most people tend to phase that out when they realize you can't do that forever.
Yeah, I've probably spoken to a lot more VAs than the average person because we've got RecruitSmart. But I still talk to people I hired 2-3 years ago, not on a daily basis, but probably once a week or every so often, to people that I let go, because you do build friendships as well. And their English is fantastic. Their English is their second language, but you can have a very smooth conversation. You wouldn't struggle hearing them, understanding.
One thing that we check with RecruitSmart is we always ask them to send a internet speed test because that's one of the biggest drawbacks. It's just like any country. In Manila, which is the capital city, life is more expensive. Internet speeds might be really good. So, paying someone 30,000 pesos who lives out in rural Philippines, that's really good money for them, but you have to make sure their internet is good. So that's one of the checks we do with RecruitSmart.
And bad weather. Bad weather's a thing very common out there. There's another typhoon. I've been in calls when they've had like mini earthquakes as well. But yeah, bad weather happens. I have caught one VA out in the past. He told me he was in a storm. Googled it. Nothing, just sunny weather. But yeah, they occasionally they might have to have the odd one day or 2 days off, but you can check. It's just a part of the deal that you're getting into.
Yeah, it's made me realize how lucky we are in the UK, actually, that we don't have to worry about hurricanes and typhoons every other week.
Yeah, for sure.
Kobe said, so we claim it as an expense. Yeah, I mentioned this, Kobe, I don't know if you're in the live on TikTok this morning. People always ask what your net profit margin is in a business after your expenses. If you're doing business properly and you have a good accountant, you want your net margin, you want your net profit to be as low as possible to reduce that corp tax. And paying staffing costs and contractors and consultants, that's ways you can get it down. Paying yourself a salary, even if you pay it back into the company, is a way to get that tax down. Obviously, not financial advice. We're not accountants. Speak to an accountant. But yeah, hiring staff members is definitely a tax deductible business expense. So is hiring a VA from us. So is using our mentorship. So is buying our course. All of those are tax deductible business expenses.
Alex, very good question. I was thinking the same just before you mentioned that. Very good idea. I'm not sure. Well, we definitely should, even if we got some of our girls on there.
Rachel, Joy,
yeah, they've all got the sourcing experience. I think that'd be a fantastic idea.
I think that'd be a good idea as well. I was asking Holly if she would come on a live and talk about our plans for like social media and everything like that, but she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to be online yet."
She just won you the whole time.
Yeah. So, guys, to give you context, our social media marketer Holly is Filipina, and she used to work for Anthony Joshua's social media accounts, whose his social media was run by his family members. And she has worked with British people her whole career, and she has loads of British friends. So her humor and her personality is more British. And it really caught Reese and I off guard because, there is a very big cultural difference. So seeing a Filipino with a very strong, she was taking the piss out of me when I first met her. And I was like,
this is a gift that she's made us.
Yeah. Yeah, she takes the piss out of me all the time. I love it.
No, yeah, you build really good friendships, and it's working relationships as well. They're fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. So, in your experience, Reese, when is the right time to get a virtual assistant? Because that's a question we get asked all the time.
I might have a different opinion on it, and it is not me swaying because we have RecruitSmart, but I hired a VA. I'd say probably 6-7 weeks into Amazon. I wouldn't recommend doing that in the way that I did because I hired a VA who neither of us had an idea what he was doing. So I thought they were fantastic, buying the leads. They were actually bad leads and it took me years to sell some of them. You certainly understand what you're doing. You need to understand the back end of the business, make sure that you can analyze products. That's the most important part of Amazon is you need to be able to analyze it because you could go into any store and think things are great. You don't want to be running into that. Well, yeah, it causes financial issues. You're buying products just because you haven't analyzed them properly. That skill can be picked up fairly easy, but it takes years of refinement or getting the right people to coach you to learn how to do that properly. Hiring a VA with experience, personally, if you don't have the time to source, if you really don't enjoy it, then I don't think any time is too soon to hire a sourcing VA that knows what they're doing because they can teach you. When we hire through us, we'll have a one-to-one call and we'll identify the right person for you and your personality. Then they're going to be there they've done it for years. You say, how do you storefront stalk? And they'll jump on, they'll show you a video. They're there, you're their boss. They'll show you everything they know. I do find that if you spend 8 hours, you'd probably find more than them in the average day. But I'd say too soon is if you don't know how to analyze a product properly and be able to tell good from bad, that's too soon.
Yeah, and also I completely agree with what you just said. One thing to be careful of is someone else being in charge of spending your money is always going to be a bit more risk taking than you would be. And what I mean by that is, to the guys in here who aren't aware, when you have really good trust with a VA, they do become your purchasing manager, or for me, my admin VA would do my purchasing as well. I would always have the final say on how much we buy and of what leads. Sam just done 6.5 million. He still to this day has to approve every single lead that they buy, and it's because regardless of how good the VA is, how good your team members are, it's your money, and someone else is always going to be a bit more risk taking with your money. So yeah, if you ever get a VA and you get them to do purchasing, that is something we would recommend. Always be the final check that decides how much you're buying and if you're buying it.
Yeah, like a sourcing VA don't see what happens after you purchase. They can see history, but they don't really understand how reprices work, for example, or how reprices work in your mindset when you're trying to make the most money. Because I've set up VAs on reprices before, and they're like, "We're making loads." And you're not. You're just getting loads of sales. Where's the profit? It's like you've crashed the price, and they think it's good. And yeah, I made a big mistake. Sean, I think you did as well. Is have a product sourcer, have a purchasing VA, but you still need to be the middleman to tick green and say purchase.
Yeah.
I think that was when I got married. We went away for we got married in Portugal, so we went away for a week. I said to the girls, "Do it yourself. I've watched you for over a year. I trust you. Analyze it, purchase, send it to the warehouse, and our guys will ship it out." Come home and there was quite a few problems. Yeah, it was like, "Well, this is gated." Yeah, it just wasn't tracked properly, and it's great to be completely hands off, but I think you should always need to be in control of your own business to some extent.
Yeah, and when I talk publicly about, in our businesses, we got our working hours to about 10 to 12 hours a week because of the software we developed, because of the automated Airtable databases we had. Sam has the same thing, about 10 to 12 hours a week. A lot of the work of that is actioning problems and actioning buying. So your system should manage most of it, and your admin VA can work with the system, and then you would make the final check on purchasing. You would action any issues anytime that you need to talk to Amazon directly. That's the work that you do. But the rest of it is handled by your prep center, your VAs, and your systems.
Yeah, like in our prep center, when you join, you get added to a private channel, and I'd say more people than not, they'll have a VA in there, even if it's a sourcing VA that does some admin or the admin VAs. And we spend a lot of time communicating with them. Not the owner of the business is still obviously in charge and understand what's going on, but it's helping you. The idea of a VA is helping you outsource the not low skill yeah, like the low skilled, like the things that are repetitive, like sourcing or prep. Outsource those and then spend your time learning Amazon, making better buying decisions, which is the most important part. Making sure you know what's happening with your admin and the back end, and scaling the business. Think, what can I do next? How can I double my revenue in the next few months?
Yeah, the way I always phrase it is, when you have someone who takes those repetitive tasks off your hands, for 350, £370 a month, when you have someone who takes over those tasks, if you go off and develop your database and it makes your team much more efficient with sourcing, or if you go off and find suppliers, if you learn a new skill that you can implement into your business, the return on investment in getting that time back is so high, and you realize, should I be doing a task that I can outsource for £4, £5 an hour? And a lot of the time you realize you shouldn't be doing it. And to an extension, that does expand out into your regular life as well. Like, you will get to a point in a business where you cleaning your own house is not a good return on your investment. Like, if you hired a cleaner and you could do other tasks in your business that make you more money, that's the kind of levels you can get to when you keep going and you're consistent.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You don't want to do it to, like, you need to be able to make sure that you can pay their salary and make some. You always want to be going upwards. You don't want to be hiring a VA if the expenses into your business is always going to make you lose money long term. And that's what we do. We always sit down when somebody's interested in hiring. We ask them what their turnover is. We ask them how much they have to invest, and we do turn people away. We say, look, it isn't right for you. Or we can recommend and say, hey, you haven't quite got the money to hire somebody, or they're not interested. Maybe look to share a VA with someone. That's something that's absolutely true. And if anybody wants to share a VA with somebody, reach out, and I might know somebody that you can work with. It does work. There's pros and cons to that. You will always have to have one of the people that is the direct manager who is basically leading that VA, and then someone is paying to share that with them. You don't want to be in a grey area where they're sitting in the middle and there's no actual solid manager or person who's hired.
Yeah, one of the key benefits of our mentorship is we're looking to bring people in who are open-minded, network and share ideas. And people in our mentorships since have networked and started sharing VAs. So it definitely is a good option for some people. Kobe said, I love sourcing, but I need to get good at it. Yeah, I think when we started doing Amazon, I feel like I was misled. I was misled into believing that I could pay for a group to give me all the leads I need and they could do the job for me. And it took me a long time to realize sourcing is a skill, and this business model gets so much better when you get good at the skill yourself. And as Reece said, even hiring a team member, if they come into your business and don't know how to do something and you have no idea how to train them, it's not a good dynamic. So getting good at the skill and reducing the amount of hours you have to put into it before you find leads, it's one of those game-changing things that does happen to enough people as long as you're consistent.
Yeah.
Alex, I set myself a rule to profit 3 times the price of a VA for 6 months. Yeah, I think that's a good rule. The way I like to see it is, if I'm paying, I don't know, 350 quid, are they going to bring me at least 5 times their salary in profit? That's one way I like to look at it.
Yeah. There are other things. It's like, if you invest your time, then if you get them early, then you can build them up and train them. So then there's that time investment that's beneficial as well. I have had calls before, and people was like, how much money am I going to make from a VA? I'm like, I can't answer that question. It depends how much money you have invested. What are your buying decisions like? Are you buying for long term? Are you buying short term, quick flips? There are so many factors, but yeah, if you've got capital, if you say, I'm making more than £360 a month profit, so I'm not going to be losing with a VA. And there's 2 factors really. If you've got money sitting in the bank, and you've not got products to purchase, it's wasted, because it can be in Amazon selling. So that money is sitting there not doing anything. But then there's the other side. You might go, I've got £6,000-7,000 in Amazon. I don't need a VA because all my money's in Amazon. The answer might be, actually, you do need a VA because you've made some really bad decisions and you've bought leads because you can't find them, and you can't shift that stock in Amazon. So hire a VA, get more products. A standard VA will find around about 6 leads per day, sometimes more, sometimes a bit less, and you might not purchase all of them, but it opens up the opportunity so you can really refine and decide what products are best to purchase, to then return, make a profit and reinvest.
Yeah. Zara, hello. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome to the live. I had something that popped into my head that I realized was really important to say, and it's flitted away. What was I going to say? Can you riff for a second while I try and think?
Yeah, I just looked at the villain from Mission Impossible. I was trying to figure out how I could get that on screen. But
you can share your screen, I think.
No, I figured out. I can just do a photo. Does anybody think this looks like Sean? Love that.
What was I going to say? Something really important. Oh, that was it. Just came into my head. So when you have a VA, collecting retailers, so adding to your supplier list, getting new newsletters, keeping track of discount codes, keeping track of data, anything that requires keeping track of data, make sure that it is not just in the possession of your VA. You have to have access to that information. So whenever I work with a VA, I give them an email address to use that I have control over. I can change the password at any time. I give them access to NordPass or to LastPass so we can share passwords safely. They have a VPN set to the UK, maybe NordVPN or a free one. But you have to remember, they might not work with you forever. So if they're collecting all this data and you don't have access to it, when they leave, you've spent all that money and haven't kept the information. So it's really, really important to make sure that any work they do in their working hours is to contribute to your business. You have to have control of all of that data.
I think I got a few people agreeing with me, Sean.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment. I said only the other day, if I was going to be an actor, I would only ever want to play villains in films because it looks way more fun.
Yeah.
You went for the comedian route, didn't you, with Bill Hader?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Let that one just fade out quite quickly, please. Yeah, with my VAs, it's sometimes, yeah, if I've invested all my money into stock and I don't need them to do that, then a lot of time that I've invested with my VAs to build resources, we now share in the mentorship. One being like the gift card tracker. So there's about 6 different methods to save money, gift cards being one, cashback being another, and there's other ones that we probably won't share in here unless only in the mentorship. We got them to run through every single website, uni days, NHS discount, and build it all into a giant database, which we've now built onto like a onto like a web app. So then our mentees now have free access. You just drop down, press on a supplier, and it will tell you what discounts you can get. Obviously, it's a snapshot; it's not live, but that took, in terms of hours, that would probably be like a solid week because there was so much data in there. But that's invaluable now. That is super, super valuable. And now we've shared it with that small group, everyone's benefiting from it. So you hire a VA for sourcing, but you can use them for other things.
Yeah, and like equally, my admin VA, there's no set role that she does. If I need her to do something that day, she's happy to do it. And more often than not, when it comes to research or something that I might find a bit repetitive, she's actually better at doing that than I am because she has more attention to detail. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I say hiring your first admin VA can change your life, because any task in the day that you want to outsource or get rid of, they will do happily. Obviously, you have to give them the right instructions and guidance and everything. Just like any business, you can't just, or I was going to say, just like repricing, you can't just set and forget. Unfortunately, you do have to have some hands on the reins. But yeah, having a good team member is such a good feeling, incredible feeling.
Yeah. There was I saw online the other day that a man hired a VA to use Tinder or whatever they are now. I'm not sure what the latest apps are, to go on Tinder and talk to girls and book him 3 dates a week. And then all he had to do is she sent him the date and where to be, and he'd just turn up.
It's like OF models, isn't it, who use Filipinos to do their messaging to their subscribers.
Yeah. But it might take some time finding the right person. Obviously, hiring through a company like us where we do all that vetting and we really make sure that you're happy and replace. But when you find someone good, you know they're good, and keep them close. If you then later on in life have another business or another idea, you've got those contacts. You can reach out to them, and you're not tied into what you're doing right now. And it is every single business now. I've got friends that own their own businesses, and I think every single day, why isn't everyone outsourcing abroad, offshoring it, getting VAs? Save so much money. Big companies are. I know Deliveroo, most of their employees now are from the Philippines. I think it's Deliveroo or the other one, but
pretty much.
Yeah, it was Delivery. So
pretty much any time I talk to tech support, I've worked with Filipinos for so long now, I can tell their accents. And I was talking to someone at Amazon the other day whose surname was Garcia, and he had that Filipino product, that bit of the accent. And I was like, "My friend, you're definitely Filipino, right?" And he was like, "Yes, brother, I am." he was so excited.
Oh, wicked.
Alex, I need to learn. Oh, go for it.
Go on.
I need to learn this discounts and cashback stuff. I'm good at finding leads, but some extra money on the side is always good. Let me send you a link in the chat.
Yeah, well, is that the mentorship link? Because that is secret
No,
knowledge.
it was the discount gift card portal.
Oh, okay. I think he was talking about what I was talking about, the additional discount methods.
Okay, yeah.
Alex, drop me a message on Discord and I will probably help you a little bit for free.
See, this is our problem, guys. We have all these like in-house developed stuff, but we keep giving away too much for free.
Yes, yeah. Cards to Cash. So that is an incredible tool. One thing that completely blows my mind, and I probably say this one of Amazon's biggest secrets, is use gift cards. Why are people not using them? You can save so much money using our partnership. I think Sean had a very good sales pitch with Cards to Cash, and it just went. We told them who we are, and we never thought about working with people like you guys before. So they super keen and rebuilt their website and gave us our own portal. They also offered to give us an additional 1% discount on gift cards. I say that to the missus, and I can get 3% off. She's like, it's £3, but it's a lot to Amazon. So I don't really care. But yeah,
it's the difference between it's the difference between someone tanking your listing and you still making profit, isn't it?
Yeah, or it could be that edge of making no one else buy it, but you do. So now it's no one else is going to be on there.
My biggest ever lead. Sorry, just to say, my biggest ever lead. In the US, people use discount gift cards all the time. In the UK, they don't. When we implemented this portal, we realized why. Loads of people were nervous about it and didn't know how to track it with HMRC. But my biggest ever purchase, I made a lot of money from buying something from Curry's with an 8% discount gift card. No competition on it ever because no one else was using it. No one else found that lead. So you've really got to think about the competitive advantage, because if someone else is tanking your listing, maybe they just got it cheaper than you did.
Yeah. Gift cards, difficult from a tax bookkeeping perspective. I am more than welcome to start that conversation and debate on the Discord server with our accountants who's in there. Essentially, try not to overthink it. It's if you get a gift card for a £100 gift card and you've got 7% off. So you pay £93 for a £100 gift card. You purchase that product for £100. Essentially, you're saving 7%. There are some accounting that I don't want to give advice and be slightly wrong, but essentially, if you've got a 7% discount, you're saving about 7%. It's not, and when you get the hang of it, it's easy.
And I will say, when you talk to an accountant, every accountant has their own opinions. And when you talk to HMRC directly, the information you get is different depending on who you talk to. So our accountant, we're partnered with Smartly, which you get £50 off if you sign up to them with SellerSmart. Smartly tracks our discount gift cards in a different way to Sam's accountant. So you have to talk to your individual accountant, but it is always profitable to use them. So definitely use them, because you are competing against people who are doing stuff like this. There's other methods you can do to get cheaper products as well, but we're not going to share those because those are for the mentorship lot. But this is just one layer in the cake.
Yeah, I don't want to say stuff which is wrong, but essentially it's people way overcomplicate it. It is just discount, the additional discount. Kobe, you said, how do I use Cards to Cash? Cards to Cash is a marketplace for gift cards. So essentially, it is you, Kobe, you get a gift card for Christmas. Somebody gives you £100 gift card and you don't want it. Instead of going to Argos and using it, you'll sell it to Cards to Cash for £90. And then they will sell it for, someone will pay £97 for it. So essentially, you're just buying it off other people, but they take the responsibility to ensure they're legit.
I'm going to share my screen just very quickly.
You showing him how to log in?
Yeah, so guys, I don't know if you saw it, but I put a link in the comments chat. I'll put it in the actual comments of this video as well. And in our Discord community, there's a link to this. Let me just bring it up on my side. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so this is our discount gift card portal, which again, link is in this chat. Link is in the Discord and our website. So if you want to buy discount gift cards, you come here. You can go to buy cards. you can go through and you can see that you got 10% off boots here, 6% off Argos here, 5% off John Lewis. Currys, the last few times I've checked, haven't been available, but you can always search. And if they're not available, you can request them. So you can ask for help.
Just go back a page. It was just below.
Yeah, you can ask for help. You can schedule. You can submit a form, and you can request discount gift cards. Caleb and his team are really good. They often find them within 2 hours. We also have a feature that no one's ever used, and I thought people were going to use it like crazy. We actually have unlimited vendor cards where you can get an unlimited amount of discount on them with as much money as you like, but it's for a slightly reduced discount. So not that many people use those, but the discount gift cards here, these are really big to use. So if I go to see details here, you can see that they've got it's two. So you can buy a £5 gift card for £4.50 and a £28 for £25.20, 10% off.
Yeah, so they had 5 in stock underneath. So sometimes you do need to mix and match.
There you go, £379, 6% off. SellerSmart gets access to these discount gift cards before the general public. So you always need to buy from our URL. It's sellersmart.cards2cash. You need to make sure you buy from our portal. We get priority customer support. We have a contact who owns the business. So if you have any issues, you have to buy through our portal. And as I say, we get special discounts from Caleb. So I haven't actually messaged him in a few months or a few weeks even. So what I might do is I might message him tomorrow, see if he can do any deals for us, and then I'll promote it in the server. And people in the mentorship or the server will get access to cards that the general public won't see.
Yeah, so it shows on our website before it does on the main site. We actually get very little money for this. It was more of we outreach because it's such a valuable tool for the community. And again, another resource which can then make people believe in who we are.
This was a little bit of a convincer as well, because I had to put quite a bit of work into this one and the margin wasn't really there, but I found so much value in this. We all found so much value in this in our own stores. I knew as like a thing for the community, it would be amazing. The surprise to us was people, even with the option of it, were quite skeptical to do it because they just weren't used to it. And I'm like telling you, if you take anything away from these live calls, start implementing this.
Yeah. So you purchase and then you'll get an automated email with the code that you can apply. They do check to make sure it is available before they send it to you. And if you have any issues, they'll fix it.
Zara, I'm hardly getting any sales, not getting buy box, even if the price matches the competitors. What should I do? How are your seller metrics? How's your seller metrics? How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting in the buy box price? Are you selling at FBM or FBA? How much stock do you have in comparison to your competitors? And if you go on Keeper and look at the buy box statistics, how frequently does the buy box get shared around other sellers? Is it dominated by one seller or is it just yourself? Because if you're not getting the buy box for, let's say you've been waiting for a couple of weeks, that would be one of the few occasions where I say, okay, maybe undercut by 5p. I would never recommend undercutting, but if you're genuinely never getting buy box when you should be, that's where you kind of have to try it a little bit. Is there anything I forgot, Reese?
No, I think that's about if Amazon's on the listing, that can have some issues.
Mm.
Zara, happy for you to send some screenshots and have a look into it, but it really is on a individual item basis.
Yeah, set your Keeper filter to a daily basis. So check it by day or by month and just slide through the buy box scale or just go to buy box statistics. But you can see if your store is ever going in the buy box, because it might be the case that you are going in the buy box, but no customers are buying while you're in there. That does happen quite a bit. And then you just got to be patient if that's the case. Buffett said, do smartly do margin scheme. Do you know what margin scheme is?
Where's the question? Do smartly do margin scale? I don't know what it is. No, not sure. And well, while you're looking, Sean, what does a new app do in full? Very long question. We need another few hours. We actually just launched it to our mentorship team group. We done a live call, showed them how it is, and we're getting them on there super soon.
Yeah, and the feedback was very, very positive as well, which was really, really reassuring for us, wasn't it? It was very validating.
Yeah, I've had some phone calls today as well, and they're super hyped. I would say it's all admin. Every piece of admin tool that you would ever need. Like we've got reprice coming out soon. We've got sourcing for certain sourcing methods, and it's operations as well. So replens or review requesting. You say SageMailer. Is it SageMailer?
SageMailer, yeah.
Yeah, you use SageMailer. Like we've got everything integrated. It's that one hub for absolutely everything to a whole new level. But you'll have to wait and see.
Buffett, so I just checked, and yes, Smartly provides accounting services that support VAT margin scheme. I've never personally heard of that, but they're very good. I've used 3 different accountants. The first 3 lost me loads of money and had no idea how Amazon works. Harvey is an e-com seller himself, so he understands the game. He understands how it works, and they're very good. And you get 50 quid off your first month if you let them know that you signed up through SellerSmart.
Yeah, he has a load of VAs. He's a very big company now. He's got an office out there. He flies out there. Yeah, he preaches them. He said it's changed his life.
That's one thing I'm very excited for when we get to a point where we have our own office in the Philippines and we get to go there as a business expense very regularly. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I haven't told you yet, but I just told him we're going to pay for the girls to meet up soon again.
Nice.
Sometime in March. Yeah, I was in a call and I dropped it in and they heard and got excited.
So that's another good tip for anyone out there. This isn't just for Filipino culture. This is for people. People often appreciate experience a lot more than cash. We all like money, so I'm not saying if you want to pay your team members a bonus in cash, absolutely do. But occasionally, if you just pay for them and their family to go out for food and go to the cinema, a lot of the times they're so hardworking, they never take any time for themselves. So it barely costs you any money, and they're so appreciative of it. You know, if you have a team member that you trust and you've been working with, and you help them, buy a new monitor, for example, because their monitor's broken, or they only have one, and you want them to be more productive with 2, that kind of thing goes a really long way. They will be so dedicated to you for life if you do that. And again, it just comes back to their people, mutual respect. Just treat them with respect, treat them well, develop them, and they will look after you and your business as well.
Yeah, completely agree.
Cool, guys. We're going to call it a day. If you're interested in any of the services, we've got a free Discord community. You can check out our mentorship and Recruit Smart with the link in the bio if you're interested in hiring a VA. The discount gift card pool I'll put in the comments, and it's in our community as well. Really appreciate everyone coming into the live and asking questions. And Reese, thank you, brother. I've been trying to get you on these lives for a while, so it's really good to see you on here.
Yeah, see you in a year, mate. No, I'll do more. I know I need to. No, I actually enjoyed this. It was good fun.
Told you would. Yeah, it's just a nice chat, isn't it?
Yeah. So
nice.
Same time next week.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right, guys.
On some more lives, TikToks. Okay. Thanks, everybody, and talk to you in a server.